So your next assignment which you are supposed to implement using Android is text editor. Now when I'm saying a text editing or text formatting, what comes in your mind? Yes, when we are saying text editing or text formatting, what exactly we are doing? Yes. Have you done before in any of the case the text editing? All of you are using Word.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you are doing a text formatting or text editing, what effects you are giving to the text?
Font size,
Correct. I can change the
color.
font size. I can change the color. Correct. Anything else? See, whenever we are saying text editing or text formatting, as you just now mentioned, the basic thing is we can change the size of the text, we can change the color of the text, I can change the alignment, that is left aligned, right aligned, justified. So alignment I can do. At the same time, I can make the text bold, italic, or bold italic also. I can do the underlining of the text. I can do the subscript, superscript. All these formatting I can do with the text. Am I right? So we can do the simulation of the text editor in Android. That is your second assignment. So in order to implement text editor by using Android Studio, you can use a spinner widget which is there with my Android Studio. So how I can use the spinner? What is the spinner? How I can access the elements of that spinner, so that I'm going to let you know, so that you can use this spinner widget for your text editing assignment. So Android spinner is a widget. It's just like a drop down menu or a drop down list with a multiple values from which end user can select only one value. So you will have a set of values as a drop down list, and from that set of values, it allows me to select a single value. So from that multiple values, by default, spinner shows its currently selected value as the zeroth index value in the spinner. So in the default state, a spinner shows its currently selected value, that is whichever be the value by default it is selected, that will be considered as the selected item. Otherwise, most of the time, the zeroth index value, because when we are saying a list of values, a set of values, it is going to have a index which will starting from 0, and by default it will take the 0th index as the default value from the set of values. So it can be used to display the multiple options to the user, in which only one atom can be selected by the user. So as I mentioned, now I will give you an example so that it will be easy for you. As I mentioned, by using spinner, you can implement a text editing. But most of the time when you are filling any particular what we can say, the registration form, so in that registration form it is giving you a drop down list of different states, and when I'm selecting a state, automatically from that state on the next drop down list it will give me all the regions, or what we can say, if I'm selecting a Maharashtra, at that time in Maharashtra, all the villages, all the cities, automatically it will give me a list of that cities in that state. So that will be like your drop down list. So that is one of the application where you can use these spinners also. So spinner provides a quick way to select one value from a given set of values. So how I can use a spinner in my program? So see, what I want is, now all of you have created a project. So what you can do is go to your activity layout XML file, and you can drop down a spinner widget from the palette onto your design view. So from where you will get that spinner widget? So on the latest version, there is in your palette there is a container, and when you click on a container, in that container you will get a spinner widget. Now when you are going to select that object on your layout, automatically the code or the default attributes of that particular spinner widget will be there in your activity layout text file. So which default attributes will be there with my spinner? That is the ID, layout width, that is fill parent or match parent, and height. So what will be the height, default height, width of that particular widget? That can be specified in your attributes. So three basic attributes are auto-generated for your spinner, that is identification or the identifier for that spinner, its width and height. So these are the default attributes for the spinner. Now to implement the spinner, we need to import the following package in our Java code. So meaning is what? Now I have added this spinner on the layout file and I want to access this in my activity file. So in order to link this spinner object with my main activity.java file, I need to first import the spinner package, and from that spinner package, now I'm going to link this current spinner by using find view by ID. So already we are familiar with find view by ID. I'm going to pass resource object R, then identifier, and with that identification I'm going to pass the name of the spinner which we have given over here in the ID. Okay, so with this particular find view by ID, that spinner will be linked with my activity file or with my Java file, and then I can perform the remaining actions by using the list of values. So with this particular find view by ID, my widget is linked with my functionality. Now, so over here, see, now already if you have drag drop the spinner, you will get a drop down arrow over there. But initially, now we haven't added any values to that spinner, so you are getting just a blank drop down list. Am I right? Now, so how I can add the values to this drop down list? So in order to add, or it is called as in a technical language that populate a spinner with a list of choices. How I can give a set of values to this spinner? So to populate the spinner with a list of choices, there are two ways. Okay, now I can assign a list of values or multiple options with a spinner by using static method and by dynamic method. So how I can do it by static method? So the first way is by using the string resource file. So using my string resource file, I can link a set of values to the spinner at the compile time, that is static allocation. Whereas when my program is actually running at that time, by using array adapter, I'm going to link a list of values with the spinner. So in order to populate the spinner with a list of choices, there are two ways, by using string resource file, and the second one is by using array adapter. So now I will explain you first by using the string.xml file. So I hope all of you are able to find the string.xml file. Where this string.xml file is there, it is there in the located in your resource folder values string.xml. I hope all of you found that string.xml file. Now after opening that string.xml file, there is two line of code is auto generated over there already, right? The XML version and resources and all that stuff. Now, so what I want to add a list of atoms which will map with the spinner. So in order to create a list of atoms or a set of values, I am going to use string array name. So we are writing this in the string.xml file. It means by using the XML tags, I am going to add this list by creating an array by using string array XML tag. And in that array name, that is, so string array, give the name to your array and the actual name in the double quote. So in order to create that array, I'm going to add the values by using atom XML tag. So if I want to add, for example, I want to add the size and using a spinner to change the size. So for changing the size, I'm adding the values as 25, 35 and 45. So how I can add in the string.xml file, that I will create string array, then name equal to, I will give f size, array name, and then I am adding atom 25, atom 35. So for each value, you have to explicitly write a atom XML tag. So I want to add three values, so I have written three times the atom tag. So depending on your values, you have to add that values in that array by using atom XML tag. And this is the end of the string array, so which indicate that these three values are there with my array. Now, so my value, set of value is already created, my spinner is on the layout, but how these values will be linked with my spinner. So in order to link these set of values with my spinner, in your layout XML file, we have to add the entries tag. So Android colon entries. So my entries tag is there, which will link your array which we have declared in string.xml file with the spinner in which you are writing this entries attribute. I hope this is clear to you. Now when you are adding this entries tag, now automatically with your spinner, you are getting the list of values which you have added into your string.xml file. Is that clear up to this point? Now, so once that set of values will be added to your spinner, now during my program execution, I want whichever be the atom. Now, as I mentioned, I have added 25, 35 and 45. So how it will come to know which value it is selected. So in order to get the selected value from the set of values, it is going to use a get selected atom method. So with a spinner, there is a get selected atom method which will return which atom is selected currently in your spinner. So by using this, you will extract the element which is selected, and you can apply that particular effect to your to your text. So we have done adding a spinner widget. After that, assigning or creating a set of values by using string.xml. After creating a set of values, we are linking that with the spinner by using entries tag. And during the activity that is in my Java file, I'm using a get selected atom method in order to get the or retrieve which particular atom from that list you have selected. Now I will come to the array adapter afterwards. Now, so after adding the values to the spinner, now how you will use this spinner for the actual assignment. So as I mentioned, by doing the formatting, we have seen that we can give the different effects like size, color, style, then font style like Times New Roman, sans serif, comic. So all these are there which we can apply. At the same time, I said underline is there, then you can make the alignment. So in your text editor, minimum you have to give the effect. Three effects should be there. That is, you have to change the size of your text, then you have to change the color of the text, and you can change the font style and font face also. Okay, so when you are changing the font face, so size, which is the integer value which we can pass, color, the name of the color, and style is basically whether you want bold, italic, normal, or whether you want the font face as Times New Roman or sans serif and all that stuff. Okay, so minimum these things should be there in your assignment. Now, in order to give the effect, now I hope you have understood the spinner. Now I want to design the text editor assignment. Now tell me which widgets we will be using now. Spinner, which will give me a set of values, but how you are accepting the input from the user, the text for which we want to give the effects. Let me know the widgets now for the text editor. Yes, I want the list of the widgets and then only I will proceed. How I'm going to accept a text from the user? Which widget I'm going to use for that?
Plain text.
Yes, can you repeat it?
Plain text.
I'm not able to hear Pranita.
Plain text.
Okay, you can use a plain text, but this plain text I'm getting in palette under which category? Text view, correct? So we will first take a text view widget. In that text view widget, you will get a multiple option, that is whether you want a multi-line text, whether you want a plain text. So according to your application, you choose, because as I mentioned, we are giving a text editor effect. So we will choose a multi-line text. So you can just check it out, the different options where you will get a multi-line text in your text view. So select that, and after that add three different spinners for size, for color, for font face and font style. Okay. Now, after selecting each value, now what I want to give the effect to the text view. So by using, in order to change the size of the text, I can use set text size. Okay. So my set text size is used to change the size of the text. I can change the color of the text by using set text color, and for that set text color I am going to pass a color. Now you can pass that color as just a string which you are adding in your spinner, that is red, yellow, blue, magenta, cyan from your color palette. You can mention the names. That name, it is going to convert it into hex color by using color.parseColor. So all of you are familiar with integer.parse and the wrapper classes, right? So same way over here, there is a color class in the Android, and whatever be the name you are passing by using a parse color, it will understand which color you are mentioning from the palette. Okay. So set text color, which will change the color of your text, and the third is set typeface. So by using typeface, you will be able to change the font face as a Times New Roman, sans serif, comic, along with the style, bold, italic, and normal. So with a set typeface, you have to check the signature of the set typeface function, and accordingly you have to choose in order to give the effect to your text. So these are the methods which are there with your, which widget these methods will be there in order to give the effect. Yes, I want to change the text which is there in my text view. So all these methods are there with my text view widget. So what you can do, the object of your text view, put a dot and give set keyword. Automatically, it will give you a list of all the methods which are starting with set keyword. Okay. So now with these set methods for changing size, color and font, typeface or the style. Now the parameters. So for set text, I have to pass the parameter which I am getting from the first spinner. So I told you that how we can get the atom selected from the spinner by using get selected atom. Now by using the get selected atom, I'm getting which value it is selected, and that I'm passing as a parameter to that specific function. Now when you are using a set text color function, at that time if your color.parseColor is not working, maybe in that case it is going to have that particular class and method in the graphics package of the Android. So in that case, if it is giving a error to color.parseColor, in that case you have to specify android.graphics.color.parseColor, and then how I will get the atom selected from my color spinner. So for that, spinner.getSelectedAtom, which will be I'm passing as a string. So string dot value of, so whatever be at a particular index, whatever be the value is there, it will return that color. By using color dot parse color, it will convert that, or it will parse that particular string with the understandable code by my text view, and that color effect will be given by using set text color. Set text size, which will change the size, and as I mentioned, set typeface. So now over here, as I mentioned, the set typeface. So this particular typeface function, you have to check the signature when I want to give the typeface as a Times New Roman, sans serif and all that. At that time you have to pass that particular parameter to your typeface. So just check the signature and accordingly select that signature in order to give the effect. Now when I'm saying a text style over here in my set typeface, I have to give typeface dot either the style as bold, italic or normal, right? So bold, so either you can give that particular thing as a string, just as I mentioned, as a typeface dot bold. So accordingly, as I mentioned, you have to select a signature. If you have considered the second parameter with the set typeface as a string, at that time you have to pass that parameter as a string. But if you have taken the signature with the integer, at that time for bold it is having a value 1, for bold italic it is having value 3 as an integer, for italic it is 2 and normal is 0. So for 4 styles, if your text you want as a normal, default it is 0. If I want to make it bold, at that time I have to specify 1. If it is italic, I have to specify 2, and for bold italic I have to specify the value as 3 if the signature is, second parameter is of integer type. So that's why I mentioned you select the proper set type signature, and accordingly you have to pass the parameter for the text style. And for typeface, you can check it out with your Android Studio, which particular font faces are supporting. In the current version, you will get more than these 4 typefaces, but by default with the Android version, it is minimum 4 typefaces are supported, that is monospace, sans serif, serif and sans. So what I want is with your particular Android Studio, which typefaces are supported, that you can check it out, and that particular options you can add in your spinner so that it will be applicable, or that particular font faces will be given as an effect to your text. If you are randomly using any typeface like what we can say Arial or like Latin or something, if it is not supported with your Android Studio, that particular effect won't be given, or it might give you an error. So that's why I'm suggesting you check it out, the typefaces which are supported with your Android Studio. So how you will get how many typefaces are supported with your Android Studio? So what you can do, as I mentioned, you can use this particular function. So the object of your text view dot set typeface, and when you are putting a function bracket, automatically for that particular typeface function, it will show you all the parameters which are supported with your Android Studio. So in this way, you will come to know, or you will get what are the different typefaces supported with your Android Studio that you can include in your spinner values, so that you can select one of them and you will give the effect. And how to give the effect, that I already told you, by using set text size, set type, set text color, and by using set typeface functions. So in this way, we can give the effect, we can edit the text which we have entered in the text view. Now, is there any difficulty? This is the basic things which you have to implement by using Android Studio. Have you understood up to this point? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. Now, so this is the one way I explained you by using string.xml file. That is at static time. At design time, we have linked the values. But if I want to include the values at a runtime, that is when my program is running, and during that time, if I want to add a list of values to my spinner, I am going to use the array adapter. So my array adapter is nothing but a interface between my spinner and the actual activity. So in Android, an adapter is a bridge between your UI, that is user interface components, and the data source, that is the actual values, which help us to fill the data in UI component. It holds the data and send the data to the adapter view. Then the view can take that value or that data from the adapter view, and it shows the data on the different views. So I can use my array adapter with spinner, grid view, or list view. Okay, so depending on your application, you can choose the widget. Now in this particular assignment, we have selected a spinner, right? So by using array adapter, we are trying to link. So my array adapter will link these values with the view group. So now already we have seen what is view group, then view. So view group is your base class. In that, whatever be the object you are adding, that will be considered as a view, right? So with an adapter, it will make the linking of your data with the view. And whenever you have a list of single type of atoms, that is array adapter. When we are saying a array adapter, it means we are having a similar type of atoms, that is either string, or it may be integer array, or it may be a string array or character array, right? So when you are using the array of which is nothing but a single type of atoms, at that time it is using array adapter. Now, so for example, a list of phone contacts, countries, or the names of the cities. So all this I can use by using the array adapter. So by default, my array adapter expects a layout with a single text view. Meaning is what? Whatever be the list we are providing, it will give, or it will expect the layout as a single text view on your widget. So just these are the some example, like your mobile battery charging, that is your adapter will act as an interface between your electricity board and your actual device. That is same way my array adapter will act as a interface between the UI and the activity. Okay, so my adapter converts a data atom into a view atom so that they will be displayed on my UI components, on my layout. So how I can create the array adapter? So the syntax is array adapter, and I have to pass the parameter as context, that is in which activity I am using this array adapter. Then the integer resource, that is with which particular resource I am linking this particular array adapter, that is interfacing, and the actual data, right? So the activity in which I am using the widget, that widget name, that is the int resource object, and then last parameter is the actual list of values. So context indicates the first parameter in your array adapter to indicate, as I mentioned, in which class. So this will be indicated by using this keyword. So all of you are knowing this keyword in Java, right? So no need to explain this keyword in Java. So this indicate that is the current class or current activity in which you are using that data source and the resource. Resource is nothing but a second parameter, and it is used to set the layout. That is the widget on your layout, that is located in your XML file for the list atoms in which you want to view that particular list of atoms. So activity name, then the widget name, that is int resource, and the last one is the object which indicate the list of arrays. So the actual element or the object of an array where I have created a list of values. So these are the parameters which are required in the array adapter. So same things I have done over here. I have implemented by using the array adapter. Okay, so over here by using array adapter, what I have done, I have created first the list of atoms by using the string array. So I have created a string array where I have listed the atoms. After that, I have created an object of a spinner with which I am going to link this list of atoms. So after that, what I am going to do, so after creating an array adapter object, so array adapter AA, that is the name of my array adapter object, new keyword. So all of you know, in order to create the new object or in order to create an instance of that class, new keyword is used. As I mentioned, first parameter is this keyword, this, which indicates the current activity. Then as I mentioned, we want to do it with a spinner. So r.layout.simple spinner drop down. So I want this widget on my layout file as a drop down list of a spinner. So you have to select r.layout.simple spinner drop down. And the last thing is here atom list. That is nothing but my actual name of the array where I have created the atom list or the set of values. So these parameters I have to pass while creating the array adapter object. Now, after creating a array adapter object, now what I want this particular thing. So because only object is created, but it is not showing as a drop down list on my layout file. So for that, with the array adapter, you have to use set drop down view resource. So that particular spinner will be showing as a drop down list. Okay. So whatever be the atom list we have given with this array adapter object, that will be shown as a drop down list or drop down view resource by passing android.r.layout the spinner drop down atom. So with this, it will showing me. So in order to show the set drop down list, we have to use set drop down view resource method of the array adapter. And after setting this as a drop down list, but obvious that array adapter data, I want to link it with my spinner. So what we have done, we have created an array adapter object. Then that array adapter object I want as a drop down list. And in order to link that array adapter object with my spinner, I have to use set adapter method. So spinner object dot set adapter method. With a set adapter method, I have to pass the object of array adapter, and then only it will be with all these steps. Now you will get that list as a drop down list with your spinner. So you perform the task on the selected atom from the spinner by overriding on atom selected method. So in order to get which atom it is selected, you have to use on atom selected method from the list spinner listener. So this is the way how the values will be shown in your array adapter. So but obvious, it is a list view, so where it is indicating the rows and the positions over here. So by using get position, it will give me the position in the list. When I'm using get view method, so with a get view method, it allows me to give a position that is in this particular list, how I want that particular atom should be. So get view, position, content view, and the view group. That is, as I mentioned, on the top we are having a view group, that is my parent, right? So how I want that particular list should come, for that you can use get view method, and dot get atom, which is going to use to extract the index, that is the position of that particular atom from the array adapter by using the get atom method. So and whatever you are getting by using on get on atom selected or by using these methods, that you can pass it as a parameter to set text size, to set text color, and to set font. Okay. So in this way, you can use array adapter for dynamically implementing the text editor. So I have explained both the ways by using string.xml as well as by using array adapter method. So this is the thing which you have to apply while implementing the assignment.